Hey guys, Ewan here with the Old School Labs, and we are starting this video with Chris Bumstead's physique update, a little posing video, him hitting some most muscular shots. Obviously he is training hard and eating clean, currently as Mr. Olympia is approaching and he's getting ready to defend his title against some really good challengers, especially Braun Ainsley, maybe Logan Franklin, and the other guys. Well, we'll see who's gonna challenge Chris, but at this point I think the only real challenge is gonna be Braun Ainsley. Anyways, Chris looks absolutely outstanding. He's getting bigger, fuller, rounder, and I'm sure he loves it. He finally stopped cruising, you know, as him and his coach Ian said, he's only doing like a low dose of testosterone in off season. When the prep starts, that's when he pushes drugs a little bit more, and you can see it. You can definitely see it. The changes that his body is going through when he starts prepping are significant. Take a look at the arms. I mean, he's known for having weak arms. Those arms are not looking small by any stretch of the imagination. Take a look at them. They're big, they're full. Yeah, sure, not the best insertions. His biceps seem as they were torn, but the size is there. Those arms are definitely not small. Of course, Braun's arms are far better, but is it all about the arms? Hell no. And does Chris have small arms? No. And did he improve them in this offseason? Well, he improved them every year so far, so I'm sure he grew them at least a little bit. And that's his main focus, like that's the only weakness. Of course, back as well, but mainly arms. So I'm sure he grew them a little, and I believe strongly that he will defend his title. Sergi Constance. So at this show that just happened, Chicago Pro, we had an Instagram celebrity, a model, whatever the hell he is, social media guy basically, Sergi Constance, who just competed in classic physique and looked way different than what we expected if we had the expectations based on his Instagram photos. And of course, many of us did. He's very popular, very well known on Instagram, and take a look at these two shots of him hitting abs and thighs. So yeah, you can see that he's doing a lot of Photoshop, obviously. Like, those lats are definitely enlarged, the arms as well, the waist is way smaller than it actually is. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this is basically a hit right now in the world. Everybody is talking about it. So this is the difference. Like, some guys don't look as good on stage as they look on Instagram, and this is like the template for it. I don't know what place he took. Let's not even go there. Let's not even talk about it. He obviously looked pretty bad. I mean, he used to do man's physique before. Now he transferred to classic physique. He's definitely not suited for classic physique with his legs. No. And I mean, he's getting older. He's not even a young guy anymore. So his waist got a bit thicker. His limbs are starting to look smaller. I mean, the arms. He never really had good triceps. He had pretty good biceps, but overall his arms look starting to get smaller. With age, it happens. And his skin is starting to get a bit loose. He is very vascular throughout his entire midsection, which is not very aesthetic, not very classic. Just not good. Not what you would expect when you took a look at his Instagram. Like, his Instagram, he looks like a Mr. Olympia winner, but on the stage, whole different story. Ronnie Coleman is still doing it. He's still training, and I have to mention him every once in a while. No, this is not a story, this is not news. It's just Ronnie doing some bicep curls, and he's happy. He loves to train, and let him do it because he loves it. Okay, so now we're getting into a bit more interesting part of the video. We're starting with this one, but then we have two conflicts between bodybuilders videos after this one. So first, let's take a look at Cedric's physique right now. So he updated us with this, well, I don't know, a beginning of posing practice video. He's just himself setting his feet, you know, getting his legs flexed, and that's it. What I can tell you based on this one short little video, which is nothing really, but the impression that I got is that he is starting to get old. His limbs are starting to get smaller. Again, the same thing with Sergi, whatever. His legs don't look very big compared to his upper body. His stomach is starting to pop a little bit more, right? You can see it protruding a little bit. It's a bit of a bubble gut. Yeah, maybe he just ate. Maybe that's it. Maybe he will control it better on stage. I think he will. But it's happening, right? I mean, the chest is starting to look much bigger than everything else. Like, he's not really that arm dominant right now as he was when he was younger. And the traps are looking ridiculously big. The calves are also melting. So, based on this footage, short little footage, I think Cedric is starting to fall slowly, unfortunately. But age. Are we ever gonna see Cedric looking fresh the way he looked 8 years ago at the New York Pro in 2012? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I doubt that. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much... This is gone. This is done. Yeah. Age got him. This is not something we're not gonna see ever again. Maybe we will see more matured, more conditioned version of Cedric, but this freshness, this kind of arm-dominant physique and small waist and big limbs and just crazy V-taper and like you name it, like everything was just perfect. Aside from conditioning, maybe he could have been a bit more conditioned, but other than that, perfect physique, man. This is what I'm striving for. I mean, this is something I will never be able to achieve. This is insane, but he's my height, so this is like a role model when it comes to physiques. This is something I can look up to. I can't look up to Jay Cutler because I'm not that height. This is what I can like dream of becoming. And this is the kind of version of Cedric that I love the most. Yeah, he could have, I mean, give him like 2 weeks on this to get a little bit more, you know, more conditioned. Just trim a little bit more fat, like from that inner thigh area or a little bit from stomach maybe, and probably lower back too. We can see it right here, but yeah. Little bit, just a little bit. He looks so fresh, so aesthetic, so amazing. But yeah, those days are gone. Alright, so we get to the drama part, and we're starting with this one. It's Brandon Curry versus Phil Heath. So obviously, Brandon posted a photo, and somebody commented down below something about him not showing legs. Like, sure, your upper body looks amazing, but show us your legs. And here is his response. That's what keeps them waiting and watching. I'll show my legs if Phil shows his current midsection. Oh, shots fired. I'm sure after Phil saw this, he started making a post about it, but Danny Garcia held him back, told him to control himself because they don't want him to look like a bad guy anymore, and I'm sure Phil is having troubles with it. But then again, Brandon posted this photo, and he looks absolutely outstanding in his upper body. So it's kind of true, like if Brandon doesn't show his legs, Phil doesn't have to show his midsection, and these guys both have a flaw. So let's see what happens in the Mr. Olympia stage. So if they both have a flaw, and if it is the same level of influence when it comes to judging, then it's gonna be about the conditioning. But like it's really debatable, like who can tell what is more important, the proper midsection, good legs. I'm sure it's legs. I'm sure legs are definitely way more important, but if everything is super close, like it was pretty much with Sean Roden, of course, Phil had many really good body parts, but Sean like wasn't really lacking anything. He had everything just fine. But if Brandon improves his legs enough so you can say that his legs are fine, then, you know, it can be Brandon who takes the win. But if Brandon is really lacking, like he was last year or any year, up to today, pretty much, then I guess, yeah, Phil can take him out. I hope that Phil fixes that stomach, and I hope that Brandon actually grows his legs, but maybe it's not gonna be either one of those guys. Maybe it's gonna be Rolly, or Bonek, or, I don't know, Ramy, Hadi, who the hell knows who can win the show. Anyways, this is an update of Brandon, and you tell me what do you think. Do you think he'll be like super ripped at the Mr. Olympia stage? Will he bring next level of conditioning? Or will he play the same game that he played last year, just come with crazy fullness? It turned out well for him last time, so I'm sure they will stick with the same game. We'll see. If he can come the same fullness but more condition, that would be really hard to beat for anybody, Phil included. Alright, and so here we get to the juiciest part of the video, probably. PJ Braun, so the former sponsor of Keone Pearson, the owner, the CEO of Blackstone Labs. So he used to sponsor Keone, and they were like a team. They really worked together for quite a while, but then they parted their ways, and now every once in a while PJ Braun says some bad things about Keone. So now this is the newest one. So he posted his back double bicep, pointing his glutes and saying, "Sigh. For the record, I still think he's got the greatest genetics I have ever dealt with, but this is why you gotta learn who's in your corner and who's not. Because being genetically gifted can only get you so far, and at the Olympia, the boys in the 212 show up with glutes hard as nails. Poor kid." So what he's telling us is basically that whoever is working with him didn't get him conditioned enough, and that's Dorian Hamilton, his coach. I don't know if he's talking about him, but whatever these guys did, it worked. Keone won. And if you ask me, he looked absolutely amazing. Could he been a bit more conditioned? Sure, but bodybuilding is not all about the conditioning, and there is still time for him to, get more conditioned. But then again, he was 202. So if he would get more condition, he would weigh how much? 190? Would that really be the best idea against those big guys? I don't think so. I think his game is what's gonna get him the best placement at this point. I'm sure after a long time, like after a couple of years, when he needs to, diet super hard to get to that 212 pound mark, and then get, super conditioned, that's gonna be a dangerous package. As for now, at the Mr. Olympia stage, I still have him in like top 6 because of his insane shape. But that's a different topic. What's topic here is that his former sponsor, PJ Braun, is getting really on a low level by doing this kind of stuff. This is really low. I don't support this. I don't like this. It's dirty. It's not good for the industry, for bodybuilding. Talking, smack like this. I mean, to put it mildly, it's really disgusting, honestly, guys. I don't know what you think about it. Keone did great job, and he's gonna be improving year after year, I'm sure, and eventually he will be one of the best bodybuilders in the world. That's what I think. And he's now working with Dorian Hamilton, and he's definitely much better idea than working with this kind of person. What PJ Braun is doing is showing us what kind of toxic person he is, and he should stay away. I mean, Keone should stay away from people like that, and I'm sure Keone realized that at some point, and he walked away. And I think that was a smart call. And he's improving, he's growing, and what this guy is doing is just putting himself down, not Keone. Everybody will defend Keone pretty much. Yeah, sure, wasn't super conditioned, but who the hell cares? He looked amazing and he won the show. Anyways, guys, tell me what you think about this whole thing. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more videos like this. All the best, guys, and keep it old school.